it's always kind of this race between fraud and fraud prevention, right?
between good and evil.
Between good and evil, and maybe fraud prevention takes a step ahead, but then the fraud's right behind it, and it's kind of leaving bounds. So, one thing we talked a little bit about some of the downfalls that people take, some of the kind of old school approaches, but one mentality that I always try to tell people is like, don't get complacent because it worked 6 months ago doesn't mean it's going to work
Oh yeah.
today. And
So
always do
true.
researching what else is out there, what's new, how are they doing it, how are they going about it, and how you can prevent it. Because if you're reactionary and you wait to make those changes, it typically comes at a loss, an expensive loss, an expensive lesson. So you gotta stay on top of it. It takes a little extra work, but for clients that leverage us, that's what we're doing. Um, for carriers that leverage us, we're betting these brokerages to let you know they're good. We're betting these debtors to let you know they're good. But fraud's sophisticated, and so one thing that kind of keeps me up at night is what's next. What are these bigger groups going to do?
And I know it's not what you called it today, but this is more in my mind like a fintech solution for the freight guys. I I think it's fintech for freight tech because we're all using these systems. And again, I think in days of old, I'm working. If I'm a shipper, I'm working with the trucking company down the street, and I know them. We have lunch together once a quarter. We live in a different world where we don't meet the shippers. Oftentimes, we don't meet the carriers. We're all in different places, so it's nothing new to say. Yep, I dispatched that shipment from New York, and it was picked up in California and moved to Colorado, and none of us have met. And it means the good old boy handshakes that we might have gotten by with a generation ago don't work.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways it's good, in some ways it's not. I mean, the old school handshakes, you knew the person, you got to meet them, you got to vet them, but like you said, nowadays it's this freight matching, this freight tech, right? Like freight matching, AI assisted freight matching. They're all really nice tools, but you don't meet the person, and these tools can be fooled as well. So it's a little bit harder to vet the trustworthiness, and so you've got to be careful. So where things become easy, where things become simpler, the injection of fraud becomes more of a possibility. And yeah, it's a unique combo, but it's that's why just picking up the phone sometimes can't beat it.
I tell you, I've said it many times on my podcast. I'm going to say it again. It's a business of partnerships, and you need visibility partners. You need maybe a TMS partner, a WMS partner. The driver technology. All those are partners. If you're a broker, you need carrier partners. You're a carrier, you need broker partners. You also need a partner for factoring, and I think you really should go into that relationship with that attitude. It's not transactional. You can get so much more value if you say, I'm going to vet these guys and I'm going to work with the very best. And I think if you're transactional, you're losing a lot of value. And the value we just talked about is access to these tools, the reports that you can get, just a whole bunch of insights that de-risk your business and get you paid faster. And this is a place where I wouldn't want to mess around. I would make sure that I don't want to be transactional because I'm afraid of what that might happen to me. So I'm very a big believer that with factoring, you need to partner up with a company like Denim.
Yeah, I think it's spot on. We view our clients as partners because they grow, we grow. But just the nature of the business, right? At a factoring company, you are a third party stepping into a contractual obligation between a carrier and a shipper, or a broker and a shipper. And so, but we're stepping in with our clients back, right? And so we want to make sure our clients get paid because that means Denim gets paid, and so that's important for us.